Okay, good evening all. Let's start with the discussion. Right, you all have faced the examination. Actually, this is the summary of first and second lessons. So please note that before discussion, I would like to highlight one point, highlight one point. So that is, so we are going to discuss the paper based on the first lesson. But you know that we have not yet finished the second lesson, but I have asked two questions as I remember from the second lesson. So that is really okay. I know that why you got less marks. Basically, some of you didn't know answers for the second lesson questions. That doesn't matter. But let's consider the things in the first lesson. The first lesson you should be able to answer because that is what we have completely discussed. The second lesson we have to discuss some other topics and we'll be discussing in near future. Right, let's start the discussion now. Okay, I'll start from the question number 1. So what are the tree control structures in programming? Actually, so before I begin, I would like to highlight another one point. So that is Uday. So please actively participate in this discussion. So why I'm telling like this? So if you have answered the question paper, or if you have not answered the question paper, that doesn't matter, but try to actively participate because ultimately you are the one, ultimately you are going to face the examination, not me. So if you cheat yourself, that is the biggest cheat. So try to be honest, try to actively participate the lesson. Actively participate means when I'm discussing the paper, you also try to find out the answers. You also try to calculate. Why? Because so if you are like not actively participating, means if you are focusing your attention in some other task. For an example, while I'm talking, you can just be inside, so physically present inside your computer or physically present inside your mobile phone and pay your attention to some other task. Maybe you can watch TV, you can watch YouTube, you can watch Facebook, you can access it and you can just go up and down. But that doesn't help because that is not cheating me because I cannot see you because this is online class. Only thing that I can do is I can ask you to enable the camera. But again, so rather than doing that, be honest to yourself because ultimately you are the ones going to answer the paper. And not just that, so IT is needed for your future. So you know the situation in Sri Lanka these days, we are not in a very good position. So in future, the people, I think even your parents, they have to do, even for us, that is the real scenario. We have to actually work for 2-3 jobs. We have to do 2-3 jobs to cover the expenses. So that is not easy. Not like earlier days. The world, actually the country is more challenged. So don't be lazy. Therefore, please participate. That is a humble request before we begin. Okay, the first question asking, what are the tree control structures in programming? In programming, basically based on the code organization, so there are 3 ways that you can organize the code. Sequence is where you organize the codes, the statements or the program lines, code lines, one after another, and all these lines are executed in a chronological order, one after another, in a given order. That is the simplest way. Solving the problem, if it is a problem that you can solve one by one, the first thing, okay, think about adding 2 numbers. Input first number, input second number, total is equal to number 1 plus number 2, display the total and end. So that is very simple thing. It is sequence. Just telling the program to run one statement at a time, one after another. That is sequence. Selection is where you have to take a decision. So based on the decision, you have to select the program flow or the instruction flow. So let's think about this. You are given a task to find, if you are given a task to find the maximum, if you are given a task to find odd numbers from given set of numbers. if you are given a task to find odd number from given set of numbers. Then first of all, you have to check whether the given number, is divisible by 2. If it is divisible by 2, it is an even number. If number which is given is divisible by 2, that is even number. That's an even number. So if it is odd number, the remainder should be 1. After dividing by 2, if remainder is 1, that is odd number. So that decision need to be taken. When number is given, first of all, you have to check whether is it divisible by 2. If it is divisible by 2, you have to follow one path. If it is not divisible by 2, you have to follow another path. There are two paths. You have to select either to follow the path 1, which is divisible by 2, or to follow the second path, which is not divisible by 2. You have to decide whether it is divisible by 2 or not divisible by 2. You have to decide that. So that is called selection. The second task is selection. That is basically finding whether the number is divisible by 2. That is example, right? That is only example. That is just one thing. You have to check whether, so before selecting the path, you have to check the condition. That is the second thing. The third thing that is to be considered, the third thing is you have to consider whether the program flow need to be repeated. The program flow need to be repeated or not. That is repetition. The same instruction set is repeated based on a condition. Let's say you are given a task to print square numbers from 1 to 100. The first square number is 1 into 1. The first square number is 1 into 1. That is the first square number. So after finding the first square number, you need to find the next square number. The first square number can be found by multiplying 1 by multiplying 1 by 1. The first square number can be. The second square number is 2 into 2. The second square number is 2 into 2. That is the second square number. Third square number is 3 into 3. The third square number is 3 into 3. Fourth square number is 4 into 4. So likewise, you have to repeat the same step. 1 into 1, 2 into 2 is 4, then 3 into 3 is 9, 4 into 4 is 16. Likewise, until the condition is until 100. You have to repeat the same process. 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3, 4 into 4, 5 into 5. Likewise, you have to repeat the process and find all the square numbers. And then 10 into 10 is 100. And so if you are given a task to find square numbers which is less than 100, then 10 into 10 after that, you don't want to do that again. So that is repetition. So I have again explained the tree control structures. If you watch this video again, you will understand this very well. Do you have questions about these control structures? If so, please tell me. Do you have questions? Yes or no? Any questions?
Okay.
Right, okay. Let's proceed. Who is the first programmer? No doubt, it is Lady Ada Augusta Lovelace. Lady Ada Augusta Lovelace. Charles Babbage is considered to be the father of computing, because he invented a engine call, actually. It's an engine. It's not a perfect computer, but it is an engine. It's like heart of the computer. So he invented analytical engine and it suggested differential engine. So these engines were written some programs and that was introduced by his secretary. As I know, yes, she was working as a secretary. Oh, she was working with him in that project. She introduced the first code in to be written, to be actually understood by particular engine or the machine. So she is called the first programmer. Then actually Mark Zuckerberg, the next one is Facebook inventor, and Bill Gates is the Microsoft inventor, right? So which of the following will display even numbers, right? These kind of questions, you have to be very careful when answering these kind of questions. Which of the following will display even numbers? Even numbers means 2. So, 2, 4, 6, right? So it's asking whether is it displaying the even numbers. Let's analyze this first. So here the first line says hello, program hello, that is common. Everywhere that is there, no, that line is correct. Here also it is there, here also it is there, that's the same thing. X is integer, introducing a variable. That is here, all three are correct, nothing. So begin, the next one also begin, that is not again wrong. X is 2, so your starting point is very good. You are starting from 2. Yes, 2 is even number, that is correct. Then it's saying again, go from x equal 1 to 10. Then what will happen? X will go from 1 to 10. You are asking x is 2, but again you are telling, no, go 1 to 10. 1 to 10 and print x. Then it will print numbers from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3. Are they even numbers or just integers?
Integers.
That's why the first answer is wrong. Well, let's go to the second. You are starting from 2, good. While x less than 2, 2 less than equal 10, yes. 2 is less than or equal to 10, good. Begin, okay. X, print x, 2 will be printed. First task is done, right? 2 is printed. Then it's saying x is 2. 2 is x equal 2 plus 2. That is 4 now. Again, you go back. 4 less than 10, yes. Print x, print in 4, good. That is also even. That plus 2, 4 plus 2 is 6. Print 6. 6 plus 2, 8. Print 8. 8 plus 2, 10. 10 is not less than but equal, therefore print in 10. Okay. 10 plus 2, 12. 12 is less than, no, it's not less than, so you will end. That is why the second one is the answer. I hope you understood, right? Is it difficult? So what do you think, Metsani? Is it difficult or?
No.
Okay, so you have to analyze answers, right? Don't be too hurried. When you see that when it's starting from 2, don't be greedy. Check others also. This is also starting from 2, but going 2 by 2. But here it's going 1 to 10 means going 1 by 1, right? Please be careful. So let's go to the next one. It's also next one is what is happening next one? It is starting from 1. If it is starting from 1 and going 2 by 2, it is odd numbers, right? Odd. Starting from 1 and going 2 by 2, odd numbers. So doesn't matter. That is not the answer. There's fourth one also. Starting from 1 and going 2 by 2, again odd numbers, right? You don't want to consider that. For even numbers, the second one is the answer. Okay, I would like you to involve in this, Pute. So read the question carefully. They are asking, consider the following flowchart, this one. What will be the output if n equal n plus 1 is changed to n equal n plus 2? Understand carefully. So n equal n plus 1 is this one. They are asking to change it, not this, what is? They are asking to, no, not here. N equal 1 to n equal 2. They are asking to change n equal 1, n equal 2. And they are asking to change. So typically a different question, because if you look at the flow chart and answer, you will come up with the wrong answer. But you have to read the question as well. You are replacing n equal 1 by n equal 2, and also you are replacing n equal n plus 1 by n equal n plus 2. This one also you are representing. You are changing to n equal n plus 2. This is n equal 2 and this is n equal n plus 2. Now tell me the answer. Send me the answer into chat, Pute. Just analyze like I did earlier and send me the answer to the chat. I'll give you a few minutes. Please do that. Send the answer to the chat. Don't look at the answers given, just think. If n is 2 and if n is n plus 2, what would be the output? Read through the arrows. Take your time. Be honest. Don't cheat. Don't do any other work. Concern. Try to give the answer. If anything unclear, please ask. What is the meaning of this line? If it is unclear, please ask. I'll help. So send me the answers. Right. Okay. Both of you have given the answers and answers are correct. But Lashan, your answer is partial. So think about the full answer. That's why I earlier also I said that. So think about the full answer. Answer is partial, but so you can think, right? So let's say n equal to, when you start n equal to, 2 is less than 10, obviously. So print in 2 into 2, it is 4. Both of you have discovered that. 2 into 2 is 4. Then n equal n plus 2. Currently n is 2. When you start, n is 2. So n equal n plus 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Then the next time 4 is less than 10 years, print in 4 into 4. That is 4 into 4, 16. 4 into 4 is 16. Then, sorry, 4 into 4 is 16, should not come here. So first 4 is printed, then 16 is printed. Then what will happen? N equal n plus 2. N equal n plus 2 means this 4 plus 2 is 6. Then 6 into 6 into 6. 6 is less than 10. So 6 into 6, 36 will be printed. It's not yet over. Then plus 2 is 8. 8 into 8 is 64. 64 will be printed. Add in 2. That is 10 now. 10 is less than equal to 10. Not less than but equal. So 10 into 10 is 100. So it will print 4, 16, 36, 64, 100. That is the answer. Correct. Exactly. Okay, that is the answer. But you have marked as error. Right? So can you understand? That's why I asked you to recognize. That's why I'm asking you to go through this slowly, understand, and answer. Okay, next question. Program hello. Okay, these kind of things. So one thing is you can just copy and paste this in Pascal, online Pascal compiler. That is, I think you will find that very easy, and print it. But don't do that. That is again cheating yourself. When you run, you can see this answer. Right? It is 1, 2, 3, 4. So, but if you can identify how this comes, if you can explain how the answer came, then that is really great. If you can explain how the answer is generated, then that is really great. Okay, let's see what's going on. You started. When you start, x is 1. When you start, x is 1. X is less than 10. Yes, 1 is less than 10. Okay, let's erase this part. Let's erase this part. Then what will happen? X is 1, x less than 10. Okay. Add in 2 to x and write in line. Add in 2 to x, write in line. Actually, when you run that, it will write some lines. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. How these 6 lines came? Because it's starting from 1, 1 less than 10, add in 2, print in a line. Let's print x instead of print in a line. Then you can understand this. You can see it's print in 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. How come that? How it went up to 11? Because printing comes after 2. So let's say you start from 1. 1 is less than 10. 1 plus 2 is 3. So 3 will be printed. So then go back. 3 less than 10. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 will be printed. 5 less than 10. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 will be printed. 7 less than 10. 7 plus 2, 9 will be printed. So 9 also less than 10. Okay. Therefore, it comes down. 9 plus 2, 11. So 11 will be printed. After that, it will go and check 11 less than or equal to no. Therefore, it will stop by 11. That's why it went up to 11, right? But if you swap this, if you write ln here, write ln x, if you do this here without doing this here, then what will happen? I have commented this. Then what will happen? Then it will print 1 to 9, right? Because printing happens earlier. Before incrementing, you print. Then it is 1 to 9. But after incrementing, if you print, it is 3 to 11. So carefully understand this, right? Okay, it's going. So what did you understand? It's going 5 lines. It's going 5 lines. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. But if you just keep space empty, it's just going 5 lines without printing anything. Okay, now comes the next part. Let's paste this. Now, this is called a nested loop, a loop inside loop. We call a nested loop. Now you have another loop. Okay, let's erase this if line. You are checking y is x down to 11, x down to 1. X is first 1, no? 1 down to 1 is 1. So 1 time 1 asterisk. The second time x is 3. 3 down to 1. Then 3 to 1, 3 asterisks. Next, 5 to 1, 5 asterisks. Then likewise, you will be printing axis. So you can see 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 asterisks. Because you are writing here now, before incrementing, you are printing this. So how you are printing? Actually, you are writing, you are not going to the next line. You are writing, just writing. Same line, right? 1, 3. So your same line, you are printing number of asterisks. Now, loop inside loop. Let's make it more complex. This is not even the solution. Let's make it more complex. Now you have if as well. The loop loop if. Now it's checking whether this y is divisible by 2. Then nikamma 1 asterisk, asterisk ekai, asterisk tunai, pahai, hatai, namai print karanna. Before that, it checks. What it checks? Whether this is even. If it is even, only the asterisk will be printed. For the first time, 1 down to 1. 1 is not even. 1 bindu. Therefore, asterisk will not be printed. First round, no asterisks. The second round, 3 down to 1. 3 divided by 2. Is it even or not even? 3, is it even?
No.
No, it's not even. So 3 will not be printed. But down to him, the ilang ekata 3 down to 1, 3, 2. 2, is it even? 2? 2 even. 3 even. Make a 3 1 minute. 3 even. 2 even.
Yes.
Even.
2 even. I know asterisk printed. 1 even. So the second round, 1 asterisk will be printed. The third round, like 5 down to 1. 5 even printed. 4 volt printed. 3 even printed. 2 volt printed. 1 even. Therefore, 2 asterisks will be printed. Then 7 down to 1. The 7 volt printed. 6 volt printed. 5 volt printed. 5 not will be printed, will not be printed. And then 5 down. 7 down to 1 is 7. 6, 4, 2, 3 asterisks. Then 9 down to 1. Then 8, 6, 4, 2, 4 asterisks. So when it print, it will print 1 asterisk, 2 asterisk, 3 asterisk, and 4 asterisks. See how complex the algorithm is. But it is not simple as you think. So this kind of question can be asked in the examination. I'm not saying that the examination is that much of difficult, but the thing is, but if you have this momentum, if you can understand this question, so you have some kind of understanding about programming. Means in future, you are in the pathway to become a software engineer. You have that engineering mindset. So don't think that if you can solve this question, you are a software engineer. So people will laugh at me. But you have that mindset. If you can solve that, you have that mindset. You have that problem solving mindset. So you can improve that and become a software engineer. So train yourself. So this is very important. Question number 6. Which is not a part of software? Lashen, I think you have not answered the questions. That doesn't matter. But please go through the video again, look at the questions, and try to learn from them, because that is very important to you in the examination, right? Okay. So which is not a part of software? Which is not a part of software? Software has 3 things, 3 parts. We learn about that. A software has 3 parts. So that is basically the first part is a software has coding. Not just that, software has coding and software has a documentation that is basically showing how the software is built. That is documentation. And the third thing is a software has, the third thing is it has data structures. Software is not just, it is not just, so earlier days we learn about this, it is not just coding. It is coding plus documenting plus data sources. All 3 together, you can call that as a software. All 3 together, you can call that as a software. That is how we identify software, right? So please be careful. So because I know most of the students will not understand these principles correctly. So try to understand software is not just, it is not just about coding. It has many other things. Coding plus documentation plus the data structures. All 3 together, we call it software. Right? That is it. And the next thing is, the next question. So again, a set of codings, that is actually pseudocode. This is not a real code. This is pseudocode. And it's given. In this pseudocode, so you can say begin, total equals 0. So you have a variable called total. This is t, let's say this is t of the total. This is 0 initially. What it does, repeat, read the number, it's reading the number, num, calculate, total equal total plus num. You are adding this number to the existing total until the numbers are over. You keep adding this, keep adding this, keep adding this. This is very simple. It's finding the sum or the total of a given set of numbers. Because you keep adding until the numbers are over. So it is not about 10 numbers until the numbers are over. So understand that. Okay, the next. Which is not a software design tool. Flowchart is a design tool. We learned that. Pseudocode is a design tool. Design tool means for anything we need to design, right? So this engineering process, that is very important in the engineering process, we need to design. Design is very important phase in the engineering process. Why designing is that much important? Because, so let's say you are building a house. Before you build in a house, you need to plan it. Planning is really required. You need to know how many rooms, how many kitchens, how many washrooms, how many floors. Likewise, you have to carefully plan. So planning is very important process. So planning is really, really important process before building the house. The plan need to be then approved. Planning and approval of the plan is needed. So planning needed and approval of the plan is also needed. Right? So then After that, that is actually the design plan. Plan is the design. After that only house is built. So design is very important process. Flowchart is also similarly used. Before building the software, flowchart is used to plan. Before building the software, flowchart is used for planning. And also pseudocodes for planning. UML use cases, you don't have that in syllabus, but still it is used for planning. Photoshop is used for graphic designing, not for software design. It's used for graphic design. So Photoshop is the answer. They ask it not a software design tool. So Photoshop is the answer. Okay. So next is a thing is about the reserved words. So you are given some words to fill this. So what are these reserved words? Okay, let's analyze this program. Can you tell what are the reserved words you can see in this program? What are the reserved words that you can see in this program? Yes? What are the reserved words that you can see in this program?
Orange color ones.
Yes? Reserved words monada me program ekේ තියෙන. Okay, the first line. What are the reserved words in the first line? Reserved words in the first line. Reserved words are the words used by the
Program.
language. Program is the reserved word. Why is the reserved word? Integer is a reserved word. Begin is a reserved word. These are the reserved words. So, identifiers. Identifiers are the other things introduced by us. Hello is an identifier. X is identifier. Y is identifier. Is integer identifier or reserved word? Integer. Is it identifier or reserved word?
Identifier.
If it is identifier, you should be able to change it. If I change it to integer j, you can see it's generating errors because I can't change. But if I use hello j, it's acceptable. Identifiers I can change. I can change as I wish. But reserved words can't be changed, right? Understood? So integer is a reserved word, right? So don't measure that by the color, right? Color එකෙන් ගන්න එපා. Right ln, is it identifier or reserved word? Reserved word. If I use right ln 8, it's giving error. Why? You don't have something called right ln 8. Right ln is reserved word. So you can't change that as identifier. So down to is a reserved word. If I use down to, so it's giving errors. I cannot use. That is a reserved word. Identifier is a name used by us, a name introduced by the programmer, and in the program naming, variable naming, these are introduced. And remember that there are some rules. Can we put spaces in identifiers like this? Number 1. Can I write like this? Number 1, is it correct or wrong?
Wrong.
Why?
Wrong.
Why it's wrong? Okay, number 1. Now, wrong or right?
Wrong.
Wrong, still wrong. Why? Because of the space. I can't keep space in between. I can't keep space in between identifier. Here, if I run this, you can see it's error. Can't write like this. Then, if I use number -1, is it correct or wrong?
Wrong.
Wrong. Because dash is a special character. You can't use that. Number _1, is it correct or wrong?
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. Yes, underscore is allowed. Now you know that. Right? Underscore is allowed, but dash is not allowed. And these are the things. Reserved words cannot be used as identifier names because it is reserved. Example, begin, end. are not valid. Identifier name should start with the simple or capital letter. After the first letter, underscore can be used. You can use the numbers also, but in the middle, not in the beginning. Here, a small mistake. Why didn't you keep like copy both? Case sensitive, right? Aparadhani. It's a very simple thing. Pascal variables names are not case sensitive. Those are not case sensitive, right? So art and art both are same. Whether no matter whether it is capital or simple, same. Right? And there should not be any space between them. Example, student space name. Okay, you missed two points because of this case sensitive. Case is missing. Right? Think about that before answer. Right? The next question. What is the output of following program? You mentioned it as error, but it is not, right? So please know that when you write a program like this in Pascal, 8 divided by 5, it will be printed as 1.60 E plus 000. This is scientific notation. When you divide something, okay, let's divide 3 by 5. You can see scientific notation. Let's divide 30 by 5. This is divisible, but still you can see scientific notation. So let's divide 5 by 3. You'll get the answer in scientific notation. Yeah, scientific notation. That is how you get the answer. But if you mention 6 here, right? If you mention 6 here, the answer will be limited to 6 places. Answer will be limited to 6 places. Right, let's use 10. Let 10 places. Right? So let's use 20. Right? You can see it's 20 places. The places which is used to display the answer can be given next. Okay, let's use 0 places. But still the answer will be displayed, right? Don't think that answers 0 places, answer is vanished. No, answer will be displayed. Answer will be displayed. This is actually given the upper limit, not the lower limit. Upper limit means number of characters, number of maximum characters. Not the number of minimum characters, number of maximum characters. Okay. Then the next one is rounding that. So this answer is rounded. Now we can see 5 divided by 3 is 2. Actually, it was 1.6. Actually, it was 1.6. 1.666. The positions we have changed. But let's round it. Then it will be rounded to 2. 0 positions. If you round this to 2 positions, you can see 1.67. If you round it to 3 positions, you can see 1.667. So let's round it to 5 positions. You can see that 1.666667. Okay, let's round it to 0 positions. And let's increase the upper limit. Put in upper limit as 4. Now the answer is 2. And you will have lead in 3 spaces. 3 spaces after that 2, because it will take the upper limit. Since the upper limit has some spaces, it will give spaces in the beginning. So let's increase that to 10. You will see 9 spaces in the front. Here. 9 spaces will be there. This is used in align the text. This is used in align in the text. With the command line, center line, just right align, in the text align. Okay. Right now, I think you can understand this is basically 0 positions, but it's round into 0 positions, so 2 will be the answer. So practice these things and understand. So I invite you to practice and understand these things. Okay, then, so it's asking these details about a program. So can you tell what is position 1, add num. What is there? Add num. Position 1, add num. Yes. That is the. Come on, guys. Are you sleeping? Position 1, add num is the program name. Right? Program name. Okay, tell me 2, number 2. What is number 2, Metsani? Hello?
Deceleration of variables.
Declaration of variables, correct. Declaration of variables. Number 3.
Comment.
Comment. Yes. So there is another way of mentioning the comment. So comment is basically a line which is used to explain some text. Hello there. Or you can just write some text. So this will not be executed. This is just a comment. There is another way of writing a comment. You can write the comment, bracket and 2 asterisks. Inside that you can write the comment. So that will also be treated as a comment, right? This is another method of writing comments in Pascal. 2 ways. Okay. Let's move to the next part. Number 4. Number 4. That is starting of the program segment. Number 5. Number 5.
Inputs.
Inputs. Reading means inputs. Number 6.
Outputs.
Outputs. Number 7.
Processing expressions.
Processing. Yes. Number 8.
Ending of the program.
Yeah, it's ending of the program. So why didn't you mark that? Right, program. These you missed, right? Okay. Then I have given some other things. These are variables. Okay. Programming language, Pascal. Programming methodology is basically procedural programming, object-oriented programming. These are methodologies. Functions are actually these things, right? Functions can read, write, that you have set. Those are functions. And control structures, sequence, selection, repetition. Add num is identifiers to name the variable. Okay. Again, this one. So why you wouldn't answer this question? I wonder. Okay, Lashen, tell me what will happen first. Is it mod or plus or multiplication? Mod or plus or multiplication, which will happen first? Mod or plus or multiplication? Yes?
Multiplication.
Okay, actually mod and multiplication has same precedence. So mod can be mod, even multiplication, both are okay. They come command there. Okay, let's take multiplication. Then 5 into 2. They can cook right? 5 into 2 is what? 10, right? 30 mod 8. What is the answer? 30 mod 8.
15.
Mod again. After dividing, it is finding the remainder. Okay, 30 divide karan baranna 8. 8 kiyak tiyanawada? 30, you just divide by 8.
$3.75.
No, don't tell the point values. That is just 3, right? You have 3. Point වලට බෙදෙන්නේ mod එකෙන් කරන්නේ remainder එක ඉතිරිය ගන්න. පූර්ණ සංඛ්‍යාව විදියට බෙදලා ඉතිරිය ගන්න. Dividing as integer number and getting the remainder. Okay, 30 divided by 8 is 3. So 8 into 3 is 24, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the remainder then? 30 divided by 8 is 3 and remaining. What is the remainder? Remainder is 30 minus 24. It is 6. Did you get that point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's think in this way. Lashian, I think you are not responding. Why don't? Okay, let's say there are 30 caps. Caps 30 තියෙනවා. And you have 8 monkeys. You have to equally divide these caps to monkeys. Make cap, let's say you have apples, 30 apples, and you have 8 monkeys. You have to equally divide this apple to monkeys, but you can't give portions, right? You have to give whole apple. I think you need to understand in this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 plates are there. What is the amount of, can you tell me the amount of apples and a monkey get? How many apples a monkey will get? You have 30 apples to divide equally between 8 monkeys. One monkey will get 3 apples, right? One will get 3 apples. Because you need to equally divide and at the monkeys la run do each monkey will get 3 apples. So what is remaining? After dividing this, so what is remaining? Is there any remaining apples or all are over? Lashin, are you there? I think he has disconnected. Okay. He is not there anyway. Sani, can you tell me? After dividing this equally to each monkey, altogether there will be 24 apples, but remaining is 6. There will be 6 apples remaining. You can't divide that 6 again, right? Because you can't give half apples. No. So monkey will not like that. Right? Remainder is this. Remainder process kila kiyanne purna sankhyaatmako bedanna. 3 divided by 8 is 30 divided by 8 is 3. Remainder 6. This remainder will be taken. The remainder is 6. This 5 into 2 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. That is how the answer came. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Lashen, did you understand? It's not responding. Why is that? I don't know whether you can hear me or not. Let's move to the next. Explain the software development life cycles and 3 benefits of using it. This is partially explained. That's why I have given less amount of marks. Anyway, we have not discussed this yet. We have just discussed the surface. Software development life cycle is a cyclic process or organized way of developing a software. We discussed about that. It is an organized way of developing a software. It has several phases, including problem definition. The second thing is requirement analysis. Then you have system design. Then system development. Then system testing. Then system deployment or handover. After that, you have R and review and maintenance. Anything is like that. So let's say you are constructing a house, you need to first plan how many rooms you need, how many floors, how many washrooms, how many kitchens you need to plan. According to plan, your problem, so you need to plan, and according to the plan, the development happens. Problem is basically you need a place to live. The requirement, what kind of requirement that you have, how many rooms, how many floors. According to that, your plan is created. According to the plan, the system is created. After that, the testing is done, because before handing over to the users, you need to test it. Then the deployment happen, and after some time, you have to even make. This is a cyclic process. After 100 years, you have to destroy that and create a new house based on your new requirement. Because people don't like to live in old places, they want modifications. So basically, they will start creating that again. So because they have a new set of requirements. Otherwise, there will be single floor buildings in Colombo. But what has happened earlier days, there was single floor building, but it was destroyed. Now it was not there, no more. Now they have multi-story building because to save the space. New problem, new solutions. Right? So think about the normal chariot paths, but those things are not there. So then you have the normal roads, and then the carpet roads, then the highways. The things are changing. So that is a cyclic process. Advantages, you can plan, you can estimate, budget estimating, these things can be done. You can plan it, and so it is secure, yes, it is efficient, and it help you to reduce the errors. Those are correct. And estimations can be done. It will save money as well. Why testing is important? So explain the unit testing, integrated testing, system testing, acceptance testing. Unit testing is the place where you test one by one. The small units are tested. Integrated testing is basically previously tested units are integrated, combined and tested. In the system testing, the whole system is tested, everything. In the acceptance testing, it is given to the user and check whether it is accepted or not. That is clear. Testing is important as errors of the system should be resolved before using it. Okay, I think everything is mentioned there. So I can give the marks, sorry. I didn't see the second explanation properly. Yes, this is exactly what so you have explained the main points in shorter way. You can write more, but so that is, difference is clearly explained, that is enough. Okay, the last question. What are the different methods of system implementation, stage 2 advantage and 2 disadvantages of each? You have explained you have given the names, direct, parallel, pilot, pace, but you didn't explain the advantages and disadvantages. That should be done, would have been done. Direct deployment. Let's say you want to implement the system immediately from the next day onward. So let's say our examination system, actually we have planned to shift it to jits.lk from Edmodo. Okay, let's say I have decided to do that from the next day. So I'll inform you, next day the examination will be there in jits.lk, that is direct implementation. The advantage is it is faster. The disadvantages, advantage is it is faster. Another advantage is it is cost saving. What are the disadvantages? You are not ready. You don't know the environment. Users may not like that. In case of error in the system, maybe it's critical, right? You cannot undo that. That issue is there in the direct implementation because you are directly shifting your system from one to another. The next one, parallel deployment. In this case, you are running both systems together. So it is good, it is secure and safe. It is secure, safe, reliable. Users will like that. Those are the advantages. But the thing is, users must work. The workload will be twice. 2 times. You have to do the same thing in both systems. That is headache again. And it will be costly. That is another problem of the parallel deployment. Pilot means you are just selecting a sample. Just selecting a sample and you apply the system to sample, not the entire. Maybe let's say there are 10 students in the class. For 2-3 students, I am telling, okay, let's test this. Can you do this exam using this system? So he's doing that. After he has completed, I'm asking, okay, I think it's okay. It seems okay. Okay, let's move. Others also can do in this way. I have first applied to a sample of the class. Then only I suggested for all. That is secure. That is secure because I can test it with a sample. It is not that much risky. It is secure and not that much risky. Those are the advantages. The disadvantages are actually it is not that much of faster because I have to wait until the sample finish. So it is not that much faster. That is a disadvantage. And it might be costly again. Paste. So similar to highway. You know the Kandy highway is recently open, but only one part it is open, only from MIEEE to Kurunegala. Not the entire part. The next phase, in the next phase, next part will be maybe from Kadawatha to MIEEE. Next. The next phase from Kurunegala to Kandy. Likewise, it is called paste. For complex project, the paste development is more suitable. You can develop part by part by part. This is good for complex projects and it is manageable and it is good for complex projects. But the thing is, the entire system will not be available immediately. If you want to go from Kadawatha to Kandy, no, it's not fully available. You have to wait for a long time till it's available and it might be slow. So that is another disadvantage. So if you mention about these advantages, disadvantages, you could have get the full marks for this. Okay, it's covering the first 2 lessons. So I really advise you to go through these videos, right? I really advise you to go through these videos and watch these carefully and learn from this again, because it's covering the first lessons. If you can answer these questions, it is really good. Then you can improve yourself. Timasha is missing today, so I think she can watch the video. Kisarani is missing. She can also watch the video. Okay, I'll stop from here. Then good night. See you all in the next week with the new lesson.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. Bye.